Alright guys, we're back with you know who. So anyway, we're working him on the down thing. So his issue is, remember, the trying to shoot forward, and we don't want that. If you guys at home, what is that?
Recycle, I
A
think.
traffic accident waiting to happen, because I can tell you right now, that's not a passing zone right there. You know, it's his trying to shoot forward. He's not what you call light on the leash, so we are working on that. He needs to have any little pressure given to the leash. His kind of thing is, if he feels any pressure on leash, his natural instinct is kind of, you know, opposition reflex and start, in a way, kind of controlling you by virtue of the leash being tight. So I'm just going to be very deliberate with my actions, and I'm not getting in a hurry. I want him to be successful. Good. You know, I want to reward him while he's right there. No, down. Good. Good. He thought about shooting ahead right there. I'm going to make it very, very obvious what I'm doing, though. I'm going to over-exaggerate. I'm talking like I'm talking to a 3-year-old child. I'm not, you know, and that's why I don't believe in, training a dog to stay outside a store. Yeah, the analogy to that to me is training a 3-year-old to stay outside a store. I wouldn't leave my dog subject to the general public. That's just me. All right, so I'm going to be very obvious. I'm going to prevent him from going forward with this hand. I want him to see what's going on. Heel. Good boy. And you're going to tone down the signals. This is my little living obstacle course I've set up. That little doodle just cuts in front of my head. All right, I'm going to big signal. My arm is already going out. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, and it follows along and does the same. Heel. Good. I'm really not using my leash, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be ready to. I'm going to gather it up now. I want him to see I'm going. Good. Wonderful. Wonderful. He started to shoot forward. That's why I've got to, for now, maintain that ability to keep him from shooting forward until I would have to realistically say, you guys, if I could get him to do it 40 or 50 times the way I wanted him to do it, then I'd be starting to get permanence of habit. I mean, you can't do it 40, 50 times in one day. You have to do it in, you know, it has to be, there has to be a tempo to it. You know, it has to be going on for, all right, let me turn back towards him. So big signal. My arm's starting to go out here, here, heel. Good. See how he even rotated down his back end around? The second I saw him committing to go down, because once that back end went down, he couldn't have shot forward, really. I let the leash go. And part of what it is he knows, he understands this is a turn towards from this position because he's already down. So he knows it doesn't mean down. Heel. Good. Good. Heel. Down. Second he started committing to it, I dropped the leash. That was my precursor. I want him to understand, oh, it's dropping the leash so it can hurry up and get it so it can get me the food. All right, so he knows. And for this dog, and I'm not saying this would be the normal way I would teach a turn towards, but for this dog to avoid confusion about what we're doing, it is better for him to do it from the down position because he knows I'm not asking him to down when I'm doing this. Heel. Heel. Good. Heel. Good. Good boy. Good. Good. I'm going to down. Good. So what I would not start doing right now, I'm going to tell you what I would never do right now, and this is for you guys at home, Ellen, Vivi, you're not going to be doing this one. Start doing little spins away like I did with that Dobie. If I wanted to, and I think, you know, maybe in a way I probably did start him out with the down, maybe with the turn away, and then countdown to disaster. You know, by doing the turn away and then adding the down, that could be why he kind of spins like that. Oh, you got to deconstruct your own training, I'm telling you. As soon as I get time, I'm going to do that. All right, look, I'm going to turn towards him, though. He's going to know that I don't mean to down. Heel. I'm just putting a little pressure on the leash. Good. Heel. That he's giving into it. Down. Good. And since I'm teaching him to kind of pivot off this leg, I'm using this leg. Good. You saw even me lifting that knee up caused his head to bob. All right, now I'm just going to go straight. Sit, heel. Good. Being very deliberate though. I'm walking very unnatural. You know, and I want you to have a little bit better control on the leash, but you see I'm really not. Alright, I'm going to turn towards heel. If I would have hesitated at all, he might have started to do the down heel. He's already thinking about it. His cue needs to be that he sees me kind of shortening up the leash down. Good. And I did have to put a little bit of pressure on there. Good. Good. So what you need to do is do it. Ollie, oh, I'm sorry. Ollie, could you move? Heel. Down. Good. Heel. Down. Good. So by having it be successful 3 times in a row like that, again, now I've only got 47 more times to go. All right, hang on. Heel. There was only a tiny tug on there right then, and again, I want to phase that out. I don't want it to be that's the cue. So I'm just gonna down. If I didn't turn towards right after the down, he understands it better. Heel. You can see his back end starting to swing around. Down. Good. So I am blocking him with that knee. Good. I'm implying the turn towards with the knee like that. All right, let me just do it one more time. Then we only have 45 more times to go. I mean, that may be lowballing it. I mean, it may be 60 or 70 times. You know, when people see these dogs after, you know, X amount of time, you know, it seems ingrained in them. Yeah, it is, because we've done it so many different times. You know, obviously, I'm not going to just do it 50 times right now and say, wait, sure. Sit. Good. I'm going to turn towards heel. Heel. I'm communicating with the pager. For the most part, the leash is only a small down. Good. And what that was is, I didn't really even have the blocking as much. It was kind of just the body English of turning towards him. He's doing great. Bye, you guys.